What is at the end of this reality? This person asks, what happens when you complete all your lifetime? Is it never ending? Because we know we have many past lives and you keep coming back here to live another lifetime with all your soul friends and everyone, and does it just keep going on and on? It's a good question. And the answer is that this is just one of many realities, many dimensions, many densities of consciousness. Humans are currently at the third level of consciousness, or the third density. If you watched my last video, I go over different levels of a soul. Now, those are levels of a soul who are currently on Earth. So they're still in the third density of consciousness, but there's a full spectrum. Imagine like a rainbow spectrum within each level. So someone might be like down here and they may act more like an animal, a little more wild, a little more emotional, like not in control of their emotions, where someone up here might be more enlightened. If there's chaos around them, they're still calm, collected, they know everything's happening for a reason, and they find purpose in everything. And we can find different densities of consciousness even on Earth, like insects are at a second density of consciousness. A bee, if you were inside of a bee's body and you were existing as a bee, the reality that you see is so different than what we are currently experiencing that you might as well just feel like you're in a totally different dimension. And eventually, once we live enough lifetimes, we evolve, we grow, we evolve, we grow, to the point where we no longer will need to be in this reality. We transcend this human experience into the next level. That next level, which is the fourth density, is described in The Law of One, The Raw Material. Really incredible 5-book series, channel of the 1980s. All of those books are available for free online. Just go to lawofone.info. They released them all for free, which is awesome. The fourth density is described as still being a physical reality. You still exist on a planet. It's not Earth. It's a totally different planet, but it is vastly different than Earth, operating at a much higher frequency. On Earth, there's a lot of low frequencies like Earth, jealousy, fear. Since fourth density beings have already transcended all that junk from the third density, they are existing in a much more peaceful existence. If every technology that's created is created for the sake of love, connection, unity, bringing people together, exploring consciousness, spirituality, everything evolves differently. And from this openness evolves things like telepathy, where you're communicating through thoughts, emotions, images just directly transmitted to each other. Telepathic communication would be clear and immediate. There'd be no misunderstandings or distortions that would come from verbal communication. The beings themselves would be more beautiful, more light, more almost glowing. They'd be very healthy, not only their bodies, but also their emotions. So imagine everyone in a very heightened, just beautiful emotional state. There'd be a lot of play, love, intimacy, understanding the universe, connecting on a deep spiritual level with each other. There'd be this underlying knowing that we are all one, that everyone is truly connected by this divine source. Colors would be much more vibrant and radiant. You'd most likely be able to see more hues of colors than you can even as a human. There would be an incredible harmony with nature. All the structures would be more ethereal structures built to fit in with nature. And the natural environment would be absolutely beautiful. There would be gardens, everything would be very well taken care of. There'd be no pollution, the waters would be crystal clear. And there often wouldn't even be a central governance because the government is there just to make sure things run smoothly. But if everyone is already working in harmony, it's not necessary. You may need people to oversee certain projects, but there wouldn't be that higher authority to like make sure people don't step out of line. So these are just some characteristics of what happens after you evolve beyond this, Earth. Now, the interesting thing about Earth is that we are currently at the end stage of the third density. You see things like artificial intelligence rising, you see technology flourishing, you see a lot of emotional intelligence arising as well. However, we also are seeing a lot of war, a lot of essentially the old lower frequencies of the third density consciousness trying to stay afloat, trying to still stay alive. Those old energies are no longer necessary. We have everything we need on this planet to essentially transcend from the third to the fourth on Earth right now. Like we can actually do that collectively together. We just have to come up with the proper systems where everyone is taken care of. So when people talk about the shift that's happening on the planet or the new Earth, things like that, that's essentially it. We have the opportunity to transcend to a higher state of consciousness collectively. And it's not all gonna happen at once. In fact, we're already seeing a lot of fourth density consciousness that exists on this planet, many communities that exist within harmony with nature. And on the flip side, there's also still many areas that are in war. So which energy will prevail, it is truly up to all of us. We may turn on the news and see some distant country that's in war and be like, oh man, I can't believe they're fighting with each other, while still at home, You're fighting with your spouse, you're fighting with your family, which is just a microcosm of what's happening over there. So if you truly want to be that change, you have to work on yourself, whether it's going to therapy or getting a coach or having a psychedelic therapy session, whatever it is that helps heal whatever that is within you, the triggers that are causing the conflict. If you have any questions, drop your questions in the chat. I will be answering them with videos. If you're interested in learning more about your remarkable soul, tap that follow button. And if you'd like to learn about your own past lives, I do have some past life hypnosis meditations created by some of the world's top past life regressionists. If you want to learn how you can access your past life through those, definitely check out my free past life hypnosis masterclass. The link is on my profile in my link tree.